Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, eh? How you doing? Welcome to the Brunch Gimmick here on Love Wrestling. If you're in the chat, hammer the like button, smash the subscribe button. I don't have any cool way to put that, but support's always appreciated if you're tuned in here, whether live or post-live, pre-recorded, whatever you want to call it. I was scrambling. I was reading your very funny message there in the private chat, Lawrence, while I was in the middle of breaking it down there. You know, a lot of people would be very, very surprised to learn how much dancing there is in just the pre-show little green room, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, I was breaking it down. I didn't intro that show well. But good to see you, friends, whether you're in the chat or whether you're on screen. If there's anything specifically you want us to gab about here on the Brunch Gimmick from the past week, of course, another slow news week in the busiest time of pro wrestling. We've got some breaking news coming out as we hop here live on the stream. But if there's anything you want to chat about, let us know. Blair, how you doing? You look surprised. Do you not know the breaking news yet?
I think I may. I think I saw a tweet about it, but I'm good.
You think you may? You think you might?
I think yes. Wish. I wish tonight. I've just got some bacon, and I'm just living my best life. How are you?
Honestly, I was great until I noticed you had bacon. I've got some in the fridge that I let thaw overnight. I'm very excited to have post brunch, actual brunch. You know. Lawrence, how you doing?
Yo.
Super Bowl day, buddy. How you feeling?
Yes.
This is one of your biggest days of the year. This is like your WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's how the expression goes. The WrestleMania of sports games.
What's so super about Bowl, anyways?
Yeah, and
as Axl Rose said.
And I just need to be clear for legal perspective, since we're not sponsors, we have to say the Superb Owl or the Big Game.
Yeah, 1,000.
Legally, we cannot.
enjoy the big game. The Taylor Swift Bowl today. Like, whoever scripted the NFL this year did an excellent job. Every year I wonder to myself, how are they ever going to top that? And this year, the celebrity endorsement of Taylor Swift, like, I don't know what they're going to do. Next year, I feel like it's going to be a controversy year. You know, this year was a pretty positive NFL year. T-Swizzle getting involved. Obviously huge for the game. Really growing what was a fledgling sports league into a real powerhouse. Like, in the whole debate between the NFL and the XFL, I really think the NFL pulled ahead this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they certainly, they stepped up their game. And I think the best thing I saw about this was a TikTok saying, "Can't wait for Taylor Swift's boyfriend to play football at the Usher concert tonight." And I was like, I'm into that.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he doesn't play Love in This Club, I am just going to absolutely lose it.
I know.
He's going to absolutely lose it by far. And I do like me some Usher. But if he doesn't play it, I'm going to be upset. Dark horse pick, Kevin James comes out and dances to Yeah like he did in Hitch. And just makes all of us millennial kids happy. Welcome to our morning wrestling show here, friends. Like I said, breaking news off of the top. Of course, full credit to Fightful Select, the best $5 in the business. Of course, we would highly suggest if you want to spend $10, you head over to our Patreon as well, patreon.com/lovewrestlingca. But Fightful Select breaking some news that I think some people expected. There were a lot of rumors out there, but Kazuchika Okada looking like he is going to be signing imminently with All Elite Wrestling. Going, like I said, check out the article. Of course, they do a great job of breaking down the hows, the whys, the whens, the everything in between. But exciting as all hell. It really, really is. I don't know. I don't know, like I said, when he's going to debut, anything like that. But the guy's indisputably one of the best wrestlers in the world. And it's pretty cool. Like, even I think it was Sean himself that tweeted out, like, AEW in the next month could have Sting's retirement match, Okada debut, Ospreay debut, and, again, imminently, Mercedes Moné debut. Like, is AEW back? No, let's... That's going to be the question off the top of every show going forward. No, it's exciting as all hell. Yeah. It really, really is, especially heading into WrestleMania season. You know, you're never going to take away from WrestleMania. You're never going to steal the buzz from WrestleMania unless something real major happens. But, like, AEW is making a real good push of it in spite of, and if you guys tuned into firmly AEW this morning, what JPJ thought was maybe not the best week television show-wise from AEW. But Blair, I'll turn to you first. You enjoy yourself some New Japan. Frankly, you tune into it a little bit more than even I do. So, thoughts, comments, concerns potentially about Okada moving over to a stacked roster, but a full roster in the AEW men's division.
Like the thing with AEW, it seems like they haven't had their full roster healthy like since they've come aboard. You know, like because there's always seems to be someone hurt, somebody missing. So like adding in that Okada, adding in Ospreay, adding in Mercedes. I mean, those are three incredible wrestlers who it might not be instantaneous, but I think it's going to garner a whole lot more attention for them, and I'm excited for it. I didn't really have any doubts that Okada would go anywhere else. And I need with the newfound Matthew and Nicholas Jackson embracing their EVP roles, I need them to take like the MARC picture with Okada signing the contract, because that would just be
the pointing photo with Okada.
I need that from them. That's what I'm
Lawrence.
Yo.
Do you disagree by any means? Excited? Confident? What's your hype level? Personally, I don't get hyped. I stay hyped. But what are you feeling?
Wait! I got it right here. Look at that, signed by Matt Cardona.
Oh, sick! That's very neat. I don't have anything signed, but I met Okada at All In very briefly. When I say Matt, I mean I shook his hand while he walked by me because I didn't want to wait in the very long lineup.
Yeah. No, Okada was at when I was at was in Toronto for Forbidden Door. He was at the same Blue Jays game I was, and some other fan met. I was mad because I found out about it afterwards. I was just walking through that goddamn concourse and I missed Okada. But yes, I am excited for AEW. Like, it's a very weird time for New Japan right now because they lost a lot in a short period of time. Like, every major star they've built has left for AEW. And like it's good. I don't have doubts they'll rebuild and like be back to where they were in a few years, but it's gonna be tough for a little bit. But like AEW, like this is the right fit for Okada and like AEW. Obviously, not just money wise. He can still go back to New Japan and do Wrestle Kingdom. Mm-hmm. Like the door's still open there, and it still leaves a lot.
But the door is forbidden, Lawrence.
No. I got nothing. Stupid ass name. I'm with Triple H. I'm with Triple H. It's a stupid name.
I was just going to say in the critically panned press conference, one of the things that I did appreciate was like, I'm not going to call it that door. It's a dumb door. Reminded me, it was very funny. I met Samoa Joe once, and a fan went to Too Sweet him, me, and he straight up said, "No, I don't Too Sweet," and I said, That's awesome, Samoa Joe. That's awesome. You're awesome. That's my world champion. Yeah, I'm excited as all hell. The only concern, and like I sort of said off the top there, like regardless of health, regardless of how many injuries may or may not happen every so often, man, it's a pretty loaded TV show already, and I don't know what you're gonna do. Like, this is just throwing stuff out there. I know it wasn't a huge, but like align him against Jay White. Like, what are you going to do there? Who are you going to bring him in? Is he immediately going to go after Samoa Joe for the top championship? Are you going to present him as a big deal? So I don't know. That would really be the one concern I've got, because we have seen even too a lot of times where they've made a big splash and then sort of fall a little off the radar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens everywhere. I just, I think there's a little more prominence in that in AEW's sense. So that would really be the only hope for me. Lawrence, I'll ask you first. Who do you want to see him wrestle maybe first, or who's sort of like the dream match for you for Okada?
I think off the top, I want to see him go again with Brian Danielson. I want to see that match again. Like they're 1-1, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. So I need the third match, the rubber match there. I'll go off the board. Like him and Ricky Starks, I'd say be a cool matchup.
Oh, all right.
I'm going like,
all right.
I would like a young star who deserves, who like AEW hasn't been doing much with, be a great match to see, like stylistically, the star that like Ricky Starr, like I know him to be, and that he could be. Like it'd be a good opportunity for him if they're not putting him in like a title.
He was just a tag team champion.
Yeah, but like he could. I want to see him do more on the singles run now that he lost his title.
I agree.
Mhm.
I agree. He, you sort of thought that he was in line for that, and then, of course, everything sort of, much like DX, broke down. I know I'm on my game today, or this is the worst wrestling program in wrestling history. But thank you for being here. If you are here, throw a like, throw a comment, throw a share, throw anything that you possibly could. You know, just for the sheer like absurdity of it, either Adam Copeland or Christian Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd just be really, really cool to see him like, I don't know. It's a weird way to put it, but like the video game moments that you never thought you would see outside of like a 2K or a Fight Forever in some cases.
Mhm.
I think that'd just be real, real cool to see because obviously they were both faces of their respective promotions for years and years and years. Both relatively new to AEW. I think that'd be cool. I think the best thing you could do is have Okada go right after Joe. I don't know how you get there after Revolution, maybe after the triple threat. There's, you know, I don't know how you sort of get Hangman and Swerve out of the title picture after this. But either stepping up to that. But if Okada challenges Edge for the TNT Championship when, Adam Copeland inevitably wins it, like that, it'd just be surreal. And I think that'd be the biggest reason I'd aim for that.
Yeah, I think for myself, I'm leaning towards almost Moxley as his first sort of feud showing up in AEW. I think Mox doesn't really have much, really cooking right now. So I mean, you could bring that in. It'd be a banger feud to start off. If I'm going with like a dark horse pick, I mean, like I would love to see Daniel Garcia and Okada go at it one day. So that'd be nice. Maybe not right away, but eventually.
Yeah, it's nice to have these problems where there's a lot of great options. If you got a dream feud, feel free to let me know. Speaking of maybe not dream feuds, but one that I'm real excited about, heading out of SmackDown on Friday night. Man, everything coming up, and we'll chat here. I'm trying to consciously avoid going off on The Rock and all of that like I did there on Thursday night with the bearded gentleman. But we'll chat about that press conference. But first and foremost, men, everyone, what a friggin' blast this Bayley and Damage Control feud has been so far. I know it's only been 2-3 weeks, but like, what a blast thus far. When you look at that, when you look at what Becky and Rhea are doing, because again, that press conference really took away, at least for me, a lot of the great work that Rhea and Becky did there. I am so excited for both women's matches. I doubt, just with the way the WrestleMania is sort of shaping up, that either of them get to main event, whether it's night 1 or night 2. But man, you talk about deserving it. I think it was even The Rock in the press conference where he said wrestling's not a meritocracy, but Seth Rollins. There we go. Credit where credit's due. Wrestling's not a meritocracy, but if like you were basing a main event on just the merits of it, one of these two feuds really deserves one of the main event slots, I think.
Yeah, go ahead, Lawrence.
Like I agree. Like you can tell Bayley is willing it to the point. Like she's doing amazing work. Like her absolutely selling the heartbreak of the turn, and also at the same time knowing it's coming. And like this past week with Dakota coming back, and like, despite her, like, just saying, like, I know when a turn is coming, I've been here a while, still wanting to trust Dakota Kai, despite herself. And, like, Bayley, like, you had CM Punk this week saying, like, they absolutely, and I totally agree, disrespected the Women's Royal Rumble champion, and not having her at the press conference, not having her on the poster, like, is ridiculous. Like, Bayley has earned that. She has been a top star. She carried them through the pandemic. She deserves this moment. Probably to fully like earned and deserved this moment, and she has. And it's like for the same reason Kofi Mania got the spotlight it did. This one does too, because you've got the emotion of this match of like her getting betrayed by her friends by this group she brought up. Like I guess like even kayfabe wise, like brought back two wrestlers who are on the outs.
Yep.
And now they're both like they now Io's champion. You've got this great story, and like I like fully feel that it probably won't because of The Rock, because whatever the fuck they're gonna end up doing with The Rock this year, like it probably won't, but it should be. It should be one of the night's main events.
Yeah. I think what I am very happy about is that like with Bayley, she never really got the same recognition as the other members of the Horsewomen. I feel like everyone else sort of got their moments. They got those huge opportunities. And yeah, she was champ for a bit, but she's really made the most of what they were giving to her. And to see her now being able to put in a position to like realistically, she should be main eventing one of the nights. Like it's everything you guys have said. Like she should be in that spot to see what she's been able to do and be knocking on that door. Like I'm very happy for her. I'm very excited, and I wish that she was getting that opportunity.
Yeah. That being said, like we say we wish, we have no idea what the main events are going to be. I would really hope Rhea and Becky, same sort of thing. You know, I think it's all but a foregone conclusion, knock on wood, Becky Lynch is going to win the Elimination Chamber in Perth. She will be the one. I mean, otherwise, why wouldn't you have Bianca Belair, you know, step up to Rhea while she's at part of the same press conference, right? I think if you're going to be building to Rhea and Becky being the only one to step up, for lack of a better way to put it.
There's a point on that, which like I was thinking the other day too, which like there's a decent chance Nia Jax beats Rhea Ripley, and
no,
and because like you still got the story between I still wouldn't 100% bet on it, but like you still got the story between Becky and Nia too at WrestleMania. Like
yeah, and I mean like I guess Rhea's gonna get like a huge babyface reaction in Australia again. Duh. Nia winning would get some real heel heat. Start a babyface turn for Rhea Ripley.
It would be like they've been doing a great job of building Nia, and this is some of Nia's best work.
I don't disagree with you there at all. Yeah. I don't know. I do, and maybe it's just for me. I've always, and I know you're going to have at least a few on every WrestleMania card. Yeah. I've always been a bigger fan of just like the one-on-one singles matches at Mania. Yeah. I think that Becky and Rhea, you know, lots of love again, because they have done a really great job of building Nia, like you said, since she came back. But like Becky and Rhea, there's just such. See, and you can say all the same stuff about Nia. I just don't know if it's the time. I really don't. You know, I'd prefer to see them in two singles matches: Becky versus Rhea and Becky versus Nia. Yeah. But I can't disagree with what you're saying there. I really can't.
I do like that they've come to a point where there's so much discourse about potential ways they could go with these storylines. Like it's much more like open-ended, I feel, than before, where it seemed like almost like cut and dry. There was no real options. Where with this, like there are multiple challengers for these championships and multiple opportunities, multiple ways to go. I like that when it comes to wrestling. Just it allows you to like think about things and fantasy book more and get excited about it. So I'm here for it.
Well, and you're even looking too on the women's side of things. Like, what's Bianca Belair going to do? Are we going to do Bianca versus Jade as the first women's singles match of Jade's WWE career? That'd be massive. Bianca Belair, she hasn't lost at WrestleMania, you know, and I know it's not quite necessarily the streak quite yet, but Jade beating Bianca at WrestleMania in a debut match would be massive for her. Right? And that would sell. That moment got a huge ovation at the Royal Rumble. So you could potentially have between the women's battle royal, you could potentially have 4 or 5 women's matches on the card this year, and that's friggin' awesome. Right? That being said, you know, that all depends on whether or not The Rock wants to wrestle 6 matches or not, apparently. Because if he decides he's in the Andre the Giant, he's in the Andre the Giant too. Like, I'll ask you guys first, because I certainly at least had my chance to vent about it and like put a good couple of days thoughts on it. But like, let's just get right down to brass tacks, because we got about 15 minutes before we got to start our match of the show, which was released on YouTube earlier today. But Michael Allen, Richard Clark versus MRB, the main event of the Oil Rumble, coming your way in about 15 minutes. Who wants to start? Who's excited about what's happening right now to Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins and everything in the main event scene? Anyone? Like, genuine question. Is anybody excited? It's certainly intriguing. Is anybody excited? Those are two very different things.
I'm excited for Cody Roman. I'm happy that it's now set in stone, that they've made it clear.
No, it's not. I doubt it's set in stone.
Like I don't think it's gonna be the only match involving them. But like, I think the excitement, the general, like, everyone being like, thank you, finally, this looks like it's set. I'm excited for that. I think the way they went about it with The Rock has taken away any excitement I've ever had for Rock Roman, like, for right now. Like, I think the smart way to do it is, like I said this whole time, to build to next year. I think like as much as The Rock's like, it's a 4-year story, brother, you're making 6 movies. There's a whole Raw dedicated to you that you didn't show up to. Like, you at any point you could have made it like a tribal chief reference, and you like always dodged it. Like, it's been legitimately like a 2-month build. Like, this deserves like a full year build, and if you like, it'd be cool to have them tag together, I guess, and have one turn on the other. Because like, by the end of that press conference, like, legitimately, it looked like it was set. It looked like clearly The Rock was the head of the table, because Roman just settled into walking both figuratively and literally in The Rock's shadow. Mm-hmm. And it was The Rock, like, stepping up for the family, even though it was a silly moment, because he completely, like, he was acting like Cody didn't just mention his grandfather too 3 seconds ago.
The only person who looked good coming out of this in any semblance is The Rock.
Yeah.
The only person who came out of any of this looking good was The Rock.
I think, like,
and that's so goddamn frustrating. Roman looked worse, unless this is the story they're telling. Cody looked worse because he shook this dude's hand 2 days ago, said, "Here's your WrestleMania spot, sir," and then like just got bitched out and slapped in the face by that same dude who he just gave. It's like shaking the hand of the dude who is just kissing your wife in front of you. Like, that's what Cody Rhodes did.
Yeah.
And allowing them to slap you in the face. Thank you, sir, for kissing my wife. Smack. And they walk away. That's what Cody Rhodes did. And Seth Rollins stood there the whole time and watched it happen, like the girl at the dance who didn't get anyone to ask to dance. Like, that's and all those individuals, talented as all hell.
Yep.
The thing that sucks the most, and I've said this a few times, is that like Cody and Seth, you know, again, wrestling's not a meritocracy. I do like that line. I'm going to keep going back to it. Mm-hmm. But like, those two guys probably had number 1 and number 2 as far as the most amount of matches in WWE last year. Always on television, always on pay-per-view, PLEs. Like, and to have this, like, I don't know. It would have taken a lot for me not to be excited about The Rock in advance, but you done it.
Like, why did they have? Why did he
that noise so often in the last few weeks, Blair?
Why did he give his opportunity to The Rock in the first place? Like, why? There's no reason to have done that than to go do this. Like, it was such an unnecessary step.
If they're pivoting because they're listening to the fans and they heard the reaction and they said, "Oh crap, we've got to get back to Cody somehow," I'll give the full credit there, 100%. We complain enough about them not listening to fans. Cool. Complaining purely about the story we're being told right now, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Like you say, unless the story is somehow like Roman is getting jealous, and we talked about this even last week. Like, if the play here is turn Roman babyface at the expense of The Rock, if that's the long term, all right. But like you say, Roman is literally in The Rock's shadow. The Rock's been back for half an hour. Mm-hmm. Like half an hour. Roman again whether or not you like how often he wrestles or not, he has been their champion for 3.5 years, and suddenly he's just standing in The Rock's shadow after The Rock brings up PowerPoint presentation. Like, are you kidding me? He had to pay an artist. That was a well-drawn tree. I would have to assume that he paid an artist a lot of money to do that, or he used AI, which you should have paid an artist a lot of money to do that then.
Like, I know I'm dipping into like our for exposure talk here, but like, why wasn't Zilla Fatu on there? We had Jacob Fatu on there. Like, come on.
That was weird that Zilla Fatu wasn't on there.
Oh, Umaga's kid. Like, let's do this. Come on. The disrespect.
That's because he's showing up at Mania. They're hiding him. They're hiding the secret Fatu.
Everyone except for me and Lawrence will be just like, who's this guy? And we'll be like, yeah, Zilla.
I know it. I know him. I've seen him before. He was the one not on the tree. As like The Rock reveals a secret panel on it.
It's like the advent calendars. He opens one more and there's Zilla.
And then like Roman starts unfolding family pictures that are hidden away, and they've just been hiding Zilla from him the entire time.
It's like Paper Mario. They're just appearing out of the background. Like, jeez Louise. Yeah, I don't like any of it. Again, I can't help, and man, it's just so difficult because so many people. Well, what's the story? Number one, Cody has been building. You talk about a story, 2 years of a 2-year tale. Can't use the word story and Cody in the same sentence and take myself seriously anymore. It's been 2 years, but at the end of the day, the story is the biggest babyface in the company beats the biggest heel in the company at the biggest show of the year for the biggest prize in wrestling. At the end of the day, that was the story. Mm-hmm. So like The Rock gets involved if we're and here I'm not convinced at all it's just going to be Cody versus Reigns. Not at all convinced. Because if you're going to do all of this, what's the point of bringing The Rock back? Are they just going to do, if Seth's still injured, why would you even run the risk of a tag match? Mm-hmm. Why would you even risk that? Are you going to do Rock versus Cody? Like, that's the best case, is you do Rock versus Cody at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
That's your best. Is like a number one contendership match, or put it on the line like they did with Reigns and Bryan against Lesnar, I think it was. Like, that's the best case scenario, but then The Rock loses, and what are you doing? Is The Rock then going to do exactly what Cody's doing right now and maybe go challenge Seth, or just try and insert... ARG! Like Charlie Brown.
Like, I feel like we just continuously get the football pulled away from us with this, because that's
exactly. This is Linus and Lucy shit.
Yeah. Come on, guys.
I almost said move it, football head, but that's entirely different. I hope you're not kicking Arnold and taking his head away from us. It's a difficult time. Yeah, Rip, you heard me screaming because I'm mad about this.
Like, I feel,
but only in a wrestling sense.
Yeah, this week's going to be like the very important week for them to put the wheels back on. It looks like to put the wheels back on and finally set up Elimination Chamber completely, because like you've got Cody, who's probably going to be on Raw doing a promo, which he's like probably going to have to explain his way, which I still think there's a possibility to do it, of why he was willing to give away his WrestleMania thing his shot to The Rock. And you're going to have both Rock and Roman on SmackDown, which is like, they'll explain what they're going to be doing. So like,
Roman wanted to fight The Rock less than 12 minutes. Less than 12 minutes before they hugged. Yeah. What? I want The Rock. I choose The Rock, he said. And then Cody came out to no music. You knew it was going to be bad when Cody didn't get an entrance. Everyone else got an entrance. I had to smell what The Rock was cooking. How many royal families are there, Cody? I've got no friggin' idea right now. No clue. And there's at least 2. Where's any of the hearts in this? Why is no one like, hey guys, like, we're still doing okay. We're just leaving y'all alone right now. We've already proven we're the best. We don't need to do anything else.
They don't have anything left to prove. It is just to continually talk bad about Bill Cole.
This is to prove who the United States royal family of wrestling is. That's what this is. I really want that asterisk put on every piece of advertising going forward. Mm-hmm. That's what this is for. Let's get Natalia to step up to the Rock. There we go. There's the match.
Yeah.
There's the match at Mania. And Natty taps the Rock out to the sharpshooter because she can actually do one.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Rock with
Thank you.
worst looking sharpshooter I've ever seen.
I'm not going to reveal my address online, but I will send everyone where to send my check if you just DM me. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get any of it. I would have been very happy if it was just like, hey, here's Cody and Roman, and they're just going to do this. Because now, like, is this just another excuse to put someone from the bloodline in Roman's corner for a match? Because we're going to get Jimmy and Jay. I would hazard a guess and / hope that Solo's going to get, like, a good singles match for Mania.
Mm-hmm. He should. I mean,
hope so.
He's been put in a position where, like, he hasn't looked poorly in anything. Like, they've kept him very protected. So, like, why would he not be in one?
Exactly. The dude killed off John Cena in canon.
Yeah.
Like, John Cena hasn't been mentioned on TV since Solo took him out.
It's because he's too busy clapping dingers right now with the Savannah Bananas.
Hammering dingers with the Savannah Bananas. That is my, what do we want to call that? That is my thumbs up of the week.
I had to make sure we...
That's what we can do.
Yeah, I was going to mention it.
Zach, pinpoint this one. We are going to do a thumbs up, thumbs down moment of the week. And we are going to get either Triple H or Batista or someone as part of a little graphic. My thumbs up for the week, John Cena, Savannah Banana. I am thrilled. They are quite literally the coolest thing in baseball ever, anywhere, ever.
Like, it's amazing.
Not a high bar to clear, but...
Like, how popular and quickly the banana ball has spread, like basically just through like TikTok and stuff. Every game is sold out. They're doing a massive tour right now with like them and the Party Animals, the other team they play. It's very much like no, I lost my train of thought.
It's like the Harlem Globetrotters.
That's exactly. God damn it! I was gonna say Harlem Globetrotters and I just forgot. I'm like Washington Generals.
I said it first.
Washington Generals, and I forget the Washington Generals are the team they play.
Said it first. I'm the smartest man alive.
Like when the team
I said it first.
The team was first announced, I had no idea that's what they were going for. I was like, oh, it's just another minor league team with a fun name, because like minor league baseball has some great names, but
it's true.
And now they're just, like, they got the whole thing. I love seeing it.
I love me some Savannah Bananas. Love me some John Cena. So there's my thumbs up of the week. My thumbs down is The Rock. I don't get it. I don't. I'm gonna, and I've said this the whole time too. You know, I've got my tickets for Mania. I'm excited. I am going to be thrilled when the If You Smell hits and whatever and all that rootin' tootin' and pie and all of this sort of stuff. But like I am very disappointed in how we're getting there. You know what I mean? There's always going to be excitement for this sort of stuff. When you're live and in the flesh at a wrestling show, if you're not excited by most things that go on, I don't get it, right? But you're that much more excited when you've got a great story. And I'm happy to let this portion of it play out. But anybody who sat and told me let it play out with Cody, well, I've done that for too long. I've tried to let it play out with Cody, and you had it. You had it. I was thrilled when Cody won the Rumble. And he pointed at Roman and pointed at the Mania side. I thought they're going to do right for last year. Because even if Cody should have won last year, Cody winning the title of Mania this year, like, it was even more the play this year than it was last year. And at least we got Roman versus Cody. We're either getting a three-way here, we're getting The Rock versus Cody, or Roman versus Cody with The Rock as a guest rep for something that just, for me, I don't know.
The Rock
It'll dilute it a little bit. It already feels like Roman versus Cody has been diluted a little bit. I'm not going to be as excited for it as I was 3 weeks ago.
The Rock in the Mike Tyson position where he is the enforcer, and then Cody will rip off his head of the table shirt to show a Nightmare Family shirt. Yes.
And The Rock raises Cody's hands and says, "You're the royal tribal chief family now," or something. I don't know. And then they'll have another blood exchange. No, I don't know. This is all very. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't understand how we got here, and I don't like how we got here.
Sometimes you feel like
That's
just
the best way I
asking,
can sum it up.
what are we doing here?
Do you ever feel like a paper bag? This is just horrible. Anyways, you want to watch some wrestling? You want to watch some good wrestling?
Yeah.
Good. Mascots involved in wrestling. Who would have thought that that would be a hit? Well, us. Here's the main event of the Oil Rumble. This was the first ever indie show at Rogers Place. This was 3 weeks ago. This was Love Pro Wrestling. This was Michael Allen, Richard Clark versus Michael Richard Blades.
The following contest is your main event and is for the Love Pro Wrestling Grand Championship.
That's a nice looking jersey.
I was just going to say, the Oil Kings have done a great job with all of their jerseys. These ones are out.
It is main event time. The LPW Grand Championship on the line. Challenger entering first by way of winning that gauntlet match in November. Michael Allen, Richard Clark staking his claim to the gold.
I love me some Michael Allen, Richard Clark.
Make it happen.
Early in the ring from Fort River, Manitoba, he is Michael Allen, Richard Clark.
So I've seen that pose, and actually, just for those who are tuned in, I know, well, you guys should know, but we're doing a Oil Rumble vlog. That is our next little project. We've got a ton of behind-the-scenes footage. I really hope, though, that they've got footage of when I was trying to do Clark's pose, because I kept messing it up. You'd think I'd remember after this long. I don't.
LPW Grand Champion making his way to ringside, his first defense of that title.
I don't know if that was entirely right, Blair.
I don't think it was. I think I forgot one.
Great little shot there.
Looks like he's got some sleep.
That is where I blew out my voice.
He does look much
And if you
better
listen to any of
wrestling than
our
he was in the
LPW
Octagon
CWS 10 or any of our
Michael
LPW
Richard
22
Clark with that
footage,
steel chair across the
my
back.
voice was not as strong as it normally is for an LPW event.
I think this match has started, Boris.
I mean, Judge Ben Omen checking on MRB. That was, I mean, uncalled for to say the least.
Uncalled for. This is pro wrestling.
Where are you?
I said before, you do whatever you can to keep the belt.
It's on. It's on. Let's go.
I've been cleaning the house all day. He needs to sort of stay in here. Man, this is so cool. This is the first time I've ever had the opportunity to work with like 7 or 8 cameras editing things, which was overwhelming, but a lot of fun. Like, a lot of fun. Hi, Rip.
Firing off Blaze head over heels into that turnbuckle.
It's still, like, to look back, it's still a bit of a trip that LPW ran Rogers Place. Like,
Oh, it's still wild.
it's so rad.
3 weeks ago today, and very, very excited to get the opportunity to do so again next year. Yeah, just really a really unique experience, especially just, and I know I put it over a lot, but just the whole setup with having the ring have the ability to be up for the whole show and doing it right at the intermissions rather than after a game. You know, it was very cool even for me to get to watch and go down to the couple of the Battle of the Domes that PWA and Dungeon have done. But, you know, I really, really like this setup because you didn't have people waiting to, like, we were right at the game, not after the game, not any sort of waiting time, you know? Rep down, please. That's enough.
Because there are times where, when it happens post-game, you know, like, you do have some fans who don't stick around, where
Exactly.
it's perfect, you know, during the intermissions beforehand.
Ow! Jeez.
Do you call those push-ups or do you call those earth downs, Boris?
I don't like that.
Michael
I'm
Richard
very
Blaze
fun of
up
my
to his
dog.
feet, caught that boot coming in. I think he took exception to being used as a workout device.
Kind of shenanigans is Rip getting up to.
Kick on target.
Oh, he's trying to, like, get at my hands and, like,
There is no doubt
play
that
bite,
the
I
moves
should
take
say,
you
but,
by
like, try and,
surprise.
like, bite my hands while I'm sitting here. No.
Hard boot to the face. Gonna
So,
put the
I don't
reset
have, like,
button
a dog
perhaps.
whistle or anything like that because those are
this
means. Just
matchup,
give a little
Blaze
clap, sort of
standing tall. Clark
spook him out of it.
ropes to get back to his feet. Blaze caught that boot coming in again.
Boom. Boof.
Clothesline on target. target. Back down again. Fired off. Leapfrog from the champ, dropping down into that leaping back elbow.
Man, these were
Right in the
fun.
nose.
Did you
And again, like,
say-
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask, did you say the next vlog coming out is going to be the Oil Rumble?
Yes, it is. We've got Oil Rumble coming. We've got Josh's adventure down to Perth that's going to be coming up here in a couple of weeks, couple of days. Oh my gosh,
Close one. Just
we're getting
two.
real close to Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to have content coming from there. If you're tuned in on YouTube right now, which if you're watching us right now, you are tuned in on YouTube. Check out the vlog that we just put out from the Women's Wrestling Syndicate Scott and Mosh, their first ever event featuring the individual at the bottom of this screen, Laurence.
Wow.
Yeah, lots of cool stuff coming out.
Where they
Always
probably-
had great content, but the more you can be putting out different great content, the better, I think. Especially when everybody does a great job of them.
That was impactful to say the least.
Blaze looking to go high risk. You won't find many people more comfortable on the top rope than the LPW Grand Champion.
It's very true, Boris. This was really cool too, because this was like Dash's official commentary. Stay down there. Like his official commentary debut with us. Obviously, he'd done the Thursday shows before, but
Pulling Ben
Jeez,
Ullman into the
Ben.
line of
That's your
fire.
move. Oh.
Low blow from the challenger.
Ben got
Say it all the
trucked.
time, but this is why we can't have nice things in LPWs, because of guys and things like that.
Pro wrestling was born on the back of nefarious action. If you do not,
we can have
Take
some nice
advantage
things
of
too, though,
every
Boris.
chance
Like
you
that's the
have.
thing is like not all of the
You are
things that we
missing
have
out.
aren't nice. We can have some nice things, but like not as many
Blaze
because
up
of
top.
stuff
Clark
like that.
looking to follow him up.
Oh, this
In the
was sick.
corner up to that top rope.
Judge Ben Ullman looks like he's in a bad place here, and this is getting extremely risky.
Both competitors
What
up
is
to that
gonna-
top rope.
No.
Big flex.
Flex.
There's
Throwing
only-
a flex.
Only one way to go.
Hell, Boris.
Right? And just good looking.
God.
Going for the
It's
cover.
over.
We could have the second
Like two of the
title change
best.
the
It's
night.
over.
What else can you say about
Count to
Clark and
three.
Blaze?
Oh,
Just
MRB out.
two of the best.
2 and 7/8. What? 2 and 9/10.
Wow.
Whatever fraction you want to use, it was a fraction of a second away. Clark beside himself that he didn't get the job done.
Kicking out on pure instinct there. Frustration starting to boil over.
I also like that like sort of moving,
What's
like
he
the
looking
roaming
for?
cam that they've got on the, like the higher one there. I don't know what you would call that. Like
can't see exactly what he's got. Oh, he's got
just a
that chair
camera.
again.
Yeah,
The
he
camera's the best way I can put it.
That's how we started the match. That's how he wants to end it.
Time for MRB to take
Hang on
a
a
seat.
second.
Haha!
Louis the Lion at ringside. I think he's about to correct a potential injustice.
This is a wrestling match. What's going on here? This is ridiculous.
Louis the Lion
He's not the police.
removing that steel chair.
He's not the
the
police.
equation.
An excellent line.
This.
And a big old punch from Louis the Lion.
What is going on? Ben Ullman back to his feet.
Michael Allen, Richard Clark hung out to dry.
Are we going coast to coast?
MRB about to take flight.
A 360 leg drop.
Once
We've
again.
seen MRB pull off in the past.
Target
Oh
acquired.
my God!
There's great camera work there. I'm not certain who was handling the moving hard cam there, but whomever did it, you nailed it.
And you don't get up from that.
Michael Richard Blaze retaining with an assist from Louis.
I'm glad that Louis has chosen salvation.
Yes, Louis actually is the I believe I can't speak for them here. The unofficial mascot of the Clandestine Wrestling Society.
What do I say to that?
Of course, I say unofficial in the strongest terms possible. But c'est la vie. Heck of a match. Thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you for tuning in here on Love Wrestling. If you want to check out more matches like that, we're putting a few more of our clandestine and a few more of our sort of bot show or experience show or out of rec room shows up here on YouTube. So stick around. We've got a lot coming out. I think we've quite literally got daily match releases coming up every day this week. So yeah, It's always appreciated. We got lots coming out this week. Lawrence, what do you got on the docket?
Well, like previously mentioned, we just put out the new vlog from the Women's Wrestling Society. Syndicate, sorry. My bad. Syndicate from this past weekend.
Yeah, it's a Freudian slip. You got Louis on the mind.
Yeah. I've only just watching the Clandestine Society. Yeah, it was Zach and I had a great time at that show. You can tell, like, we really, really, really enjoyed it, and there's definitely, like I mentioned before, like, Lufisto has a great vision for what to do and how to separate herself and how to make this, like, its own special thing. So you can check that out right here on the YouTube, and you can follow me at KartSandyG on all platforms.
Blair, how about you? You said you were doing an interview when we hawked in here before brunch, but where can people currently catch you? What you got coming on the Grainmaker Wrestling podcast?
Well, you can find me at all social media, Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast. You can find me here every weekend doing For Exposure with Pluggo, my good buddy, as we take a look at the world of independent wrestling. And just finished recording a podcast with Elliot Tyler, who is making his return to LPW shortly. And
Big stud.
Yeah, so I got that one coming out soon. Got one with Leon Lacumbo coming out soon. So lots of fun stuff.
Beauty. Well, stay tuned for those. Stay tuned here on Love Wrestling throughout the next week, month, year. Hopefully, the longer the better. Wherever podcasts are played, videos are viewed, or awesome content is created by awesome people. Pick up your tickets because at the end of the month, we're going to be selling out Friday night's Slamboat, Willie. See, I was almost going to call Pluggo out, so I've got to make sure that I've got to stay on top of calling that show by the right name. February 23rd, LPW 23, Slamboat Willie, and the night before, Love Pro Wrestling and the Clandestine Wrestling Society, number 11. We've also got a sneak peek at the brand new documentary Making Kayfabe taking place that night, as well as a Q&A with a bunch of your LPW favorites. So make sure you come out to that. Tickets are just $10. Tickets are limited for both evenings already. So head to tixr.com/love wrestling for those. For Blair, for Lawrence, and for me, Spencer Love, we'll see you next week, friends, right here on the Brunch Gimmick.